Hello, my beautiful people. This is a brown chair chat. I think this is installment 6, I think. My guys asked me to tell you a little bit about my journey going to Rio and Buenos Aires. It was a spiritual journey as well as a sort of fact-finding mission for me too, and of course a vacation to enjoy myself, of course. You know, with about what we're about to do, as far as like the reality show that we're getting ready, we're working on. The deck will be worked on this weekend, and then my team is going to look over it and sort of see if there's anything that we want to change, etc. And we'll be meeting with people early May to sell the reality show. So this is all coming to fruition, which is very good, but it's also at the right time, right place. And the reason being is like this particular trip that I went on was a masterclass kind of trip. And there was a few things. I kept bugging my spirit guides. I said, because they kept telling me it was a spiritual journey. And I'm like, well, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? And they're like, no. You'll know it when you know it. I'm like, okay, fine. And part of it is just believing, like have faith and let go and let the universe guide you. And that this is part of what was really important about this trip too, was to, if we're doing a reality show, right? And I'm also, of course, reading the tarot for you, for private clients, for the collective. Of course, I have friends that, I give advice for. I also read their cards sometimes. And it's really about walking the walk. It is about not just telling you the things, giving you this advice, but it's actually me walking the walk, doing what I'm telling you, leading by example. And that's the most important thing here. And that's really what that's about, because going on this trip, certain things there were hiccups in the trip, but they weren't really hiccups. They drove me to another part or another place that was actually better, or worked out much better than I could ever imagine, meeting different people, etc. And that's what it was all about. It's like sometimes the best laid plans, you're gonna have to be flexible, because what is that? If you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. So yeah. But have a plan in mind, of course, of whatever you're going to do, whatever it may be, whether it be career or some kind of product, or even your life, like sort of mapping out your life. You're going to have children, but a certain age, blah blah blah, whatever it may be, your finances, that kind of thing. But do expect that things will change, that you will have to be flexible. And especially right now, we are talking about April, and I sent that link for you people to watch. Hopefully you did get to watch it, the 2 astrologers that were working on it. And that there's actually a conjunction now, I think, between Neptune and Jupiter tomorrow, Saturday the 20th of April. And that's kind of like one of the luckiest days for those, of course, who've been doing their work. And I have to stress that for those who've been doing the work, because this is a very karmic month as well, because a lot of people will be getting their karma. There's a lot of companies and things are going to be shutting their doors or filing Chapter 11s or 13s, whichever one it's going to be. I'm just waiting for one of the big banks to go down, to tell you the truth, which just might happen. So I kind of have a feeling this is going to be financial, and it is happening. I'm already getting reports from people I know that companies are shuttering. Companies are in very desperate need. They can't pay their employees. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Unfortunately, this is part of the karma that is playing out. And for those people who work for those companies, who've been doing the best thing they can, who've been healing and driving forward in a good way, don't fear. The universe will lead you into something else, something better for you. It's just, unfortunately, there's a lot of karma associated with a lot of people that are in these companies or started these companies, that the karma has to be paid out. The energy is balancing itself. So I don't want you to get fearful when you get a pink slip, or you hear about other friends losing their job. Again, it may be their karma, it may not. If it's someone who's been really working on themselves, etc., a very good person, then they will be fine. They will find their new cycle wherever they're supposed to go. Like I told you, cycles have definitely closed and new cycles are beginning in life, career, all kinds of things are happening. And so the piper must be paid, you know. And so this was kind of it. It's like kind of at the whole thing with the trip was a master class for me and able to do that and just not worry, not stress, not think about it. Just I had a plan and flexible enough. If the plan changed, that was fine. And that's kind of what it is. And it's walking the walk. It was an interesting thing too, because I finally dawned on me also what all this was about when I got to Buenos Aires, and I was meeting some guys down there that I knew. One is from Brazil, one is from Russia, and they're on my my Instagram. Great guys, and they're both living in Brazil right now. And so, but they were just down in Buenos Aires, Argentina, you know, also vacationing, etc. So my first night, they were like, "Oh, let's go out to this bar." I think it was a Thursday night. I said, "Okay, fine." So it wasn't too far from where my Airbnb was. So I started walking. Beautiful city. Buenos Aires is just a beautiful city. It really is. And I started walking. I looked into the bar. It's a very small bar, this one. And I didn't see my friends. So I figured, let me just walk on because there's so many cafes ahead and so much activity going on. And I wanted to check out the neighborhood. So I kept walking. And this guy around my age, maybe a little bit older, comes towards me speaking Spanish. Now, okay, fine. He comes speaking Spanish, and he's not drunk or anything. I can tell because I was a bartender for many years. I can tell when someone is drunk or high. And I said, "Hablas inglés?" And he's like, "Oh, English, okay." He said, yes, of course. And he proceeded to tell me about a cactus that was several meters ahead of me, that the leaves were very smooth. And it was a prickly pear cactus. If you ever lived in Arizona, you know these cactuses. They're very broad leaves. And the young ones, you can actually eat. They taste like string beans. And the Mexicans, they peel them and then cook them. And then the flowers, or the fruit rather, can be used for jams and whatnot. So it's something I was very familiar with. But it's a very odd conversation for someone just walking down the street to tell you that there's no thorns on little cactus. And I was like, okay, that's very odd. And he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Los Angeles, blah, blah." It was a little short conversation. It was cute. And then he passed, and I kept walking, and I even touched the cactus he was talking about, and it was definitely smooth. Those were smooth. So I walked up a little bit more, and then I got a text from my friends. I walked back, and he's sitting outside because there's an outside area, and I just said, "What was your name again?" Blah blah. And I cannot remember his name to this day. And I went back. I went in, and I saw my friends, had a wonderful evening. So it wasn't until 2 nights after that I'm laying in bed. And I realized, like, he came filtering through my mind again, and that I needed to talk to him more. And it was interesting because I was like, this is it, guys, isn't it? It's like, and for all of you light workers as well, it's no holds barred anymore. It is about communicating what you know, what you've seen, what you've experienced to people that need to know it. And you may meet somebody and you know you have to tell them something. Then tell them something. Tell whatever it is that you need to tell them. This is kind of what's going on now. And with the reality show, it's very much in that same scope. So I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And I was like, it was dawning me, of course, the smooth cactus meant no more obstacles. Thorns are obstacles. No more obstacles. There's no more obstacles for the light workers. So we can go through and start really manifesting what we want in our lives, and also for our north missions, our north nodes. So that was really exciting. And then I realized, I said to my guys, this guy didn't exist, did he? And they're like, no. And I was like, I said, if you saw me talking to him, you would have seen him, but he doesn't exist. It's not somebody's going home. It was just created by the universe for this moment. And, that may be a little hard for some people to grasp and understand, but if you're a light worker, you understand, because light workers, we experience and see a lot of things. We don't tell a lot of people because it's hard enough doing and being who we are, and then to sort of vocalize that, it's a little crazy when we go through it at first, and then we realize what's going on. But for the person that's never experienced this or hearing about that, it sounds a little cuckoo. And I get it. I totally understand. But again, I'm not here to convince you of anything either. But I'm just telling you my experience. And so that was really kind of cool. I mean, it was just really wild. And it totally made sense because of the way they were orchestrating the entire thing. So I was like so jacked up. And of course, the solar eclipse was happening on Monday. And I knew they were raising my vibration again. And so, I said, is my vibration now raised, or is it happening after the eclipse, or like after the eclipse? So they raised my vibration again. So I'm vibrating very high, which is good because it's where I need to be. The light workers and whatnot are always vibrating higher because of the work we need to do here. So it was just a fabulous trip in that sense. I mean, I met so many people. So many people just sort of came in and just were wonderful. And it just, again, it was letting the universe guide me to the people I needed to see, needed to meet, to the places I needed to be, and just relax and let that happen. There was no agenda. There was nothing. I wasn't particularly sightseeing. It was just going out, which I do love anyway. I love just loving out and experiencing the culture of every country or city. And so that's just what I love to do. And it just worked out beautifully. And I wanted to, they told me to express this to tell you what was going on. And 333 is my number, by the way, which is a master number anyway. And this number has been with me for a very, very long time, and I didn't even know until much, much later what it actually meant. So, and it's also associated with Tesla's numbers as too, so 369. So it's kind of amazing. I'm very thankful. I mean, a new cycle is beginning with me. I've got a new love, Adam. I'm falling madly in love with him, and he's the same. So I'm like, yay. And that's just really good. It's so good to be communicative with him and to really dive deep and really talk about things. And so wonderful to see. And I also see other friends and other people I know starting new relationships, and it's just beautiful. And then of course we're working on, the reality shows coming in, that's coming to fruition. So it's like all of these new things are happening. And I also see other friends, other clients of mine getting new jobs, new projects starting. And it's just beautiful. This is it, people. This is it. Some people are not going to be happy because they're going to be getting their karma. The universe is like, blocking them against the wall. And, they're going to have to decide what they're going to do, And so what we're doing here with the light workers is that we're hoping that people will turn to spirituality, because a lot of people don't really believe in religion, and don't get me wrong, there's truths in all religions, but religion can be very much a control mechanism for people, and there's a lot of things that don't make sense in religion because it's very conforming. Either you do this, you cannot step out of it. Well, that's not spirituality. That's not what the universe wants, because each person's path is different. And so you just need to be good to each other. That's basically the principle of it. And with the spirituality, it's like, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not even here to convince you of anything. It's just that we're me and the team I'm going to be working with, we just really hope that you just start raising your vibration and healing within. And that's really the goal. And then we all start elevating higher in this 5D reality. So that was what I had for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you do need a personal reading, just let me know. My email will be in the description box. And I hope all goes well. It is Friday. I'm going to make a little chicken tenders and some homemade mac and cheese. I might post it on there. I love my mac and cheese. So, and Adam will be here, of course. I'm making dinner for him. So I hope all is well with you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be doing a reading probably shortly. I kept asking my guys if I was supposed to do a reading for you yet, and they were like, no. So I'm like, I go by what they say. So there you go. All right, my loves, you take care. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.